Good day everyone. Today we'll be presenting our software engineer project based on the Bus Asia website. We will cover the case study background, system feature, software process model, architecture, and over issue, and the importance of user involvement in testing. But first, I will introduce our group member. My name is Wan Ahmad Adli bin Wazinuddin as a project manager, Nur Zulfarisha binti Zulkifli as a tester, Nur Alia Sakinah binti Safu Rashli as a system analyst, and Nurul Alia Masarah binti Zulkifli No as a programmer. Now I will explain a case study of Bus Asia website. Bus Asia website is an online ticketing system by Biaramas Express for bus operator in Borneo, Brunei, and Malaysia. It replaced the slow and inefficient paper-based ticketing system. Core features such as user login, process, seat selection, payment processing, and ticket management are used across all bus operators. The platform also uses system components to support advanced service like cargo tracking and GPS bus tracking through API integration. An incremental model based on agile principle allow feature to be developed, tested, and improved in stage. Continuous update and verification and validation process ensure the system remain reliable, efficient, and fit to use.
Main user interface of the Bus Asia website. There are 5 main user interface pages in the Bus Asia website. First, the booking ticket page. This page allows users to search for available bus routes, compare schedules and prices, and select their preferred seats through an interactive seating layout. Users then enter their personal details before proceeding to a secure payment gateway, ensuring accurate ticket issuance and data integrity. Next is the track bus page. This page provides real-time GPS tracking of buses. By entering a ticket number or bus plate number, users can view the live location of the bus along with the estimate arrival time. These features relies heavily on GPS hardware and real-time API integration. The third is the cargo service page. This page allows customers to track shipments by entering a tax invoice number. The system displays the cargo status, location, and time of the latest update. This service is integrated with Biaramas Express internal logistic management system. The fourth one is the member service page. This page functions as a personal account dashboard. Registered users can update their profiles, view transaction history, retrieve tickets, and access top-up or loyalty-related features. This page emphasizes security and personalization. Last one is the Contact Us page. This page serves as a customer support hub. It includes an online inquiry form, contain numbers, email address, office locations, and embedded maps to help users easily reach Bus Asia service centers.
Next, I will explain about the objective of the Bus Asia portal. The main objective of the Bus Asia portal is to provide an efficient and user-friendly to buy online ticket. This allows users to purchase tickets online easily without relying on traditional counter services. In addition, reliable is also one of the objectives in the portal by ensuring punctual arrival and securing online payment. Next is service that provided by Bus Asia. Bus Asia provides a comfortable and safety long-distance travel by hiring a good driver. Customers also able to search route and bus schedule to know when is the bus available so that they can fit it with their time. Bus Asia portal also provides cargo tracking services that allow the logistic companies to monitor the cargo delivery status. Lastly, portal also include online payment service to customers that buy online tickets. For the portal expectation, it includes the ability to book online ticket, seat selection, online payment process, GPS and cargo tracking via the portal. Software engineering plays a crucial role in developing Bus Asia portal to provide a digital platform that efficient and reliable for users to make sure that the portal is easy to use.
Assalamualaikum and hi. So I'm going to explain about Bus Asia Info Service. There are a few info services that provide by Bus Asia website, which are booking option, tracking, cargo service, and customer service. For booking option, Bus Asia offers end-to-end services for planning and booking. This service covers multiple routes such as Kuching and Sarike. Apart from that, Bus Asia also provides accessible schedule for express and city buses that support by Bus.my timetable. For tracking, the system of Bus Asia incorporates GPS-enabled service to provide updates through GPS Track Bus or Bus.my GPS. For cargo service, Bus Asia offers a dedicated cargo delivery service for customers to manage and dispatch shipments. This platform also provides detailed information about the service such as fees for weight and optional add-on service. Other than that, it also allows customers to monitor their real-time location and status of their shipments. Lastly is customer service. Bus Asia provides robust support account management to ensure their customers have a good experience. This includes basic service such as sign up and log in. It also has dedicated service like Contact Us and Bus.my hotline. Lastly, it also has auxiliary service, which is BABNB Kuching, to suggest an integrated accommodation booking option.
Expectation of software engineering involvement. First, software engineer can make the system more reliable, secure, and maintainable. because software engineer find all functional and non-functional requirements and reducing misunderstanding and rework. Second, software engineer manage the quality and reliability. Software engineer responsible for doing the testing, resulting in the detection of potential error, and user can trust the Buzz Asia website when making online bookings. And the last one is software engineer can make website is more developed in a structured and organized manner. A careful design has been implemented such that every component has a certain purpose and is making it easier to develop.
For question number 4, the most appropriate software process model that might be used based on the case study is Agile model. The reason why Agile model is being used for Buzz Asia website is because the cost of accommodating changing towards the customer requirements is reduced. For example, during development process of Buzz Asia portal, the frequency of requirement changes is high to suit it with customer needs. Secondly, it is also easier to get customer feedback on the development work that has been done. As example, stakeholders can give review and feedback about working features such as seat selection and payment modules. So the developer can improve the portal earlier before release the final result, and it will be easier to use. The first process activities that involve in Agile process model is specification. Specification is the process to identify and define the system requirements and how it works. It involves gathering and analysis information to identify what are the user needs and the important features that need to develop first. For example, login functionality and search route are features that need to develop first in Buzz Asia website. Second process is development, where the process to convert the system specification to executable system that involve design and develop the system. The selected features are designed and implemented in small part of the system to be tested and delivered in each sprint. For example, developers started developing things like payment method and GPS tracking bus in the Buzz Asia portal. Validation is the process of checking whether the system meets user needs or not. So, Agile occurs continuously through testing and user feedback to make sure the functionality simulates the system specification. Lastly is evaluation, where the process of improve and modify the software continuously depends on user needs. In Agile, the process keep continue to develop no matter either the system need to add or modify the feature based on user feedback and requirement changing.
4.2. First is the specification phase. In this phase, the focus is on defining requirements increment by increment, starting with the most critical features. For Buzz Asia, the first specify essential system requirements such as how the road search should function, what payment method should be supported, and how users should log into the system. By prioritizing high-impact features early, Buzz Asia ensured that core service like login functionality, systematic road searching, and dynamic seat selection were clearly defined before development began. Next is the development phase. During this stage, developers design and build the core platform based on the prioritized requirement from the specification phase. Buzz Asia adopted a centralized, web-enabled architecture, and development was carried out in iteration. Key modules such as the payment system, ticketing management, and API integration for real-time GPS bus tracking were implemented incrementally. This approach allowed complex features to be developed, tested, and improved without distracting the entire system. The third activity is validation. In this phase, each completed increment was rigorously tested before deployment. Buzz Asia carried out verification and validation activities, including functional testing and acceptance testing. For example, the team tested whether the payment process worked correctly and whether the user interface was easy to use and reliable. Early feedback from these tests helped identify issues quickly and ensure that each core module met user requirements before moving to the next iteration. Finally, the evaluation phase focused on the continuous improvement. After the core ticketing system became stable, Buzz Asia enhanced the platform by adding more advanced features in later iteration. These include cargo tracking and GPS bus tracking. This evolutionary approach ensures that the system remains efficient, up-to-date, and adaptable to future needs such as integrating new bus operators or expanding service.
For each process activity, there are expected deliverables. For the first process activity, which is specification, the expected deliverables is prioritize product backlog of features and detailed requirement specification for complex modules like specific rules for seat allocation and payment acceptance of Buzz Asia website. For the second process activity, which is development, the expected deliverables is working software increment, which is tested and integrated code for the core platform, and architectural and design documentation for the centralized web-enabled platform and the API integration. For the third process activity, which is validation, the expected deliverables is verification and validation report confirming that the reliability and usability of the delivered increment. Other than that is user acceptance test report, which is a sign-off report confirming that the efficient ticketing management system of the Buzz Asia website can successfully issue, modify, and cancel tickets for 100 concurrent. For the last process activity, which is evolution, the expected deliverables is deployed software release and update product backlog incorporating new requirements like cargo tracking and future service update.
This is a project Gantt chart. The project Gantt chart have a 25-week and 16 activity or tasks and based on agile model. The activity for the Gantt chart is project initiation and agile planning, product backlog creation, sprint 1 planning, core feature development, sprint 1 review, sprint 2 planning, booking and payment development, admin and integration development, sprint 2 review, system and security testing, third party integration, unit and integration testing, bug fixing and final improvement, user acceptance testing, training and clone list transfer, and last one is documentation and handover. As a project manager, the handover problem for the Bus Asia website is incomplete clone list transfer and insufficient documentation. And the effect on Bus Asia is result in more time and slower reaction due to system error. This lack of comprehensive documentation can create a major problem in making the website. It will make the maintenance cost will increase because more time is required. Future change such as adding new route, integrating mobile application, or improving user experience will become risky. Furthermore, this problem will affect stakeholder expectation and client satisfaction. It will really impact on the sustainability of the Bus Asia website.
As a programmer in the Bus Asia project, I work on critical modules such as dynamic seat selection and GPS bus tracking using API integration. One major handover problem I experience is the lack of proper technical documentation for each development increment. Because the project uses agile incremental model, our main focus is always on delivering working software quickly. After completing one increment, we immediately move on to the next features such as ticketing or cargo tracking. Due to the tight timelines, technical documentation, especially for complex logic and API communication, is often treated as a low priority. As a result, much of the system's internal knowledge remain in the developer's head or only in the source code. This creates problems during handover. For example, if a new programmer needs to upgrade the payment system, they may spend a long time trying to understand the original design instead of developing new features. This slows down the project and reduces efficiency. The lack of documentation also affects verification and validation. Testers rely on documented specification to verify system performance. Without proper documentation for module like GPS tracking, it becomes difficult to ensure reliability after updates. In the long run, this can affect system dependability and damage Bus Asia reputation as a reliable online bus service.
As a tester, one possible handover problem that I faced in the Bus Asia website project is receiving unstable or incomplete build without proper test data, acceptance criteria, or environment setup. For example, in the Bus Asia website project, the seat booking module was handed over without back-end integration or clearly defined user stories. As the result, I couldn't validate its functionality effectively. Due to this handover problem, there will be several impacts on Bus Asia website project. Firstly, it will affect the quality assurance, which is the bug may go undetected or be misreported. Apart from that, it also affect the sprint velocity, which is it will make the tester can't complete validation on time. Lastly, it also may affect the customer satisfaction because critical features may be released with defect. For instance, due to time pressure, the ticket booking flow of Bus Asia website is released without two-route testing. As the result, users begin to report issues like incorrect seat availability and failed payment confirmation.
As a system analyst, one possible handover problem that related to my role is lack of communication skill and the gathering requirements and analysis is not same as the user needs. Lack of communication skills is contribute to handover problem during development process of the website because if the communication is ambiguous and not clear between outgoing and ingoing analysts as well as stakeholders, so the detail not properly transferred to them. It also lead to misinterpretations and miscritical detail, especially when developed agile. It will impact the Bus Asia project such as inaccurate GPS tracking information and lead to increased rework. System analysts also need to gather the information and analyze what user and business actually needs. System analysts also need to define and document all the system requirements and objectives very clear. It is because the requirements will be analyzed and translated into clear system specification to guide the developer. If the gathered requirements are not clear, it will cause misunderstanding between developer and system analysis. System analysts need to know about the current system so they can analyze data to identify the workflow. After that, they also contribute in design the system model, process flow, and structure. If the design lack of detail, so the developer may develop wrong system and need extra time to fix it.
For our system architecture model, we use layer architecture. Layer architecture have 4 different platforms. user interface, application, business logic, and utility logic. Why we use layer architecture is because it allows us to easily understand the system as well as allow to develop it and maintain it easily. With specific tasks between layers, business logic can be modified in a safe manner while providing an opportunity to fix error, change system performance, and maintain system stability. The second reason is the bus as a website can have a greater usability due to layer architecture. It's because the various parts of the bus as a website can be reused on multiple other platforms or applications without the need for rewriting any code. The benefit of involving users in release testing at an early stage in the testing process is it can make sure the website meet the requirement. For project manager as me, including user at the early stage can evaluate whether the bus SEO website meet their requirement. User will usually use the system in way that are different from what the development team want. Knowing the requirement is fulfilled early can reduce the risk of costly reward later in the project. For the second benefit, it will increase user trust and acceptance. When users are included through the testing process, they are more likely to feel appreciated within the overall project goals. In the case of Bus Asia website, passenger and administrator will have experience with Bus Asia software before it deployed. And it has a direct effect on the ability for user acceptance testing UAT to go smoothly. A significant disadvantage of including user in the project validation and verification phase is the potential for scope creep and delay in the project timeline. Involving user can lead to them asking for feature or modification upon reviewing the system performance. As a project manager, handling this new request during validation and verification can disrupt the project schedule and increase cost.
As a programmer in the Bus Asia team, user involvement in testing is very important, especially because we are using the agile model. Our goal is to build a system that is reliable, efficient, and easy to use, and only real users can truly confirm whether the system meets this goal. The first advantage of involving users early is that it helps us discover requirement issues. As developers, we can verify that features like dynamic state selection work correctly, but only users can tell us whether the feature is actually easy to use. For example, user may say that the seat selection interface on mobile is confusing. Finding these issues early is cheaper and easier to fix. The second advantage is that users help us test the system in real-world conditions. Even if the GPS bus tracking works well in our internal testing, user may experience slow performance due to poor internet connection or high traffic. This feedback allows us to improve performance before the system goes live. However, there is also a disadvantage. User involvement can lead to a feature creep. When users see a working system, they may request new features that were not part of the original plan. This sudden change can disrupt validation and testing and may delay the project schedules.
As a tester, there are two benefits of involving users in release testing at an early stage and one disadvantage to user involvement during project validation and verification stage. The first benefit is faster detection of real-world problems, which is the user reveal issues that synthetic tests miss, such as workflow gaps and usability friction. The second benefit is validation of requirements and assumptions. The user confirms that features deliver expected value and prevents costly rework by catching mismatch before wide development investment. The disadvantage is overload of feedback or conflicting opinions, it is because there are too many users providing feedback at once, which can overwhelm the team. Worse, different users may have conflicting expectations, making it hard to decide which feedback to act on.
As a system analyst, there is two benefits of involving users in release testing in early stage, which are cost and time saving, and increase the system acceptance and trust among the user. In addition, there is also one disadvantage of involving users during project validation and verification stage, which is feedback and scope change. It can lead to cost and time saving if the user involved in release testing at an early stage because they can give early feedback. So, the developer can ensure that the system meets their need or not, and developer can fix the system if have any error or the system need to add new requirements in an early stage. It helps to prevent costly change from the budget and do not need extra time to fix the system. Other than that, it will increase the acceptance and trustworthy among the user because they feel appreciated when they see the developer considers their feedback to improve the system. So, as a system analysis, this helps to reduce resistance during implementation and ensure smoother system adoption. Feedback and scope change is the disadvantage of involving user during validation and verification stage. It is because the possibility to have conflict feedback and last-minute change is very high. For example, user give feedback that need to modify something to the system, such as adding new features, so it will change the project scope.